Yes, thank you very much for that. I think there were several lessons that I learned during this meeting. The first one is that there's a huge misnomer about the number of high quality evaluations that have been done across the field. So people like to believe that they can make statements such as what worked, under what circumstances, and how much, and for whom. But most evaluations actually don't make that statement, first. And second, if you do impose relatively strict criteria on the evaluations that are out there to then choose what works for policy or what can be applied usefully for policy, there are even lesser evaluations out there. So just to give you an example, in the humanitarian field, more than $90 billion has been spent since 2005 on humanitarian assistance. But when we did a study to examine the number of high quality impact evaluations or evaluations that can establish in an attributable way the result or the change in the outcome as a consequence of humanitarian assistance, we found only 39. If you look at agricultural innovation, where billions and billions of dollars have been spent over the past three decades to understand as to what works and what doesn't, and for whom, again, 128 impact evaluations, or evaluations that can trace attribution, were actually found. So the first lesson that I learned is that yes, there's a huge misnomer about the number and the quality of evaluations that's out there. The second is that we expect policymakers to take cognizance of evaluations. But unless we can guarantee that these evaluations are credible and robust, we can't really expect them to take notice, especially if they are very blunt instruments. Policymakers need simple, salient, relevant, timely evaluations so that they can react and respond to them. And the third one that I learned is social media is powerful. I tweeted during the evaluation conference today, and I think it evoked more responses than came out of my presentation yesterday.